You are now listening to the sounds of the Band of the Hawk Underground Pyramid Crew. Bow up, bow up.
Peace, man. Spitboxx, episode 3. We back in the building, man. No Archangel, Band of the Hawk Underground Pyramid Crew.
Man, what's going on? I'm your boy Jeffrey Vaughn, KRXM Radio. It's a pleasure to be here, on the Spitboxx.
Yes, sir. DJ Mastermind, 1/3 of the Dynamic Trio. Get it in.
Yo, we're doing our things, episode 3. You know what I mean? We're also live on Instagram. If y'all follow us on Instagram, we're doing our thing, man. You know what I mean? So we're going to talk about a few things going on in the culture, music industry tips, all that. We try to make sure that we spread love as well as spread knowledge. You know what I mean? Because knowledge is power or whatever, man. So once again, no Archangel, Band of the Hawk. Go to bandofthehawk.com for all the new vinyl, the merch and everything. KRXM Radio's got all the services you need. How'd your week go, man?
Man, my week has been crazy, show after show after show.
Yeah, we doing a show when I walked in.
Really just getting a chance to connect with these artists and build that community.
Yeah.
And that's the most important part.
Yeah.
And we're close to almost $20,000 raised for the homeless.
All right, no doubt. I think what we got to talk about, man, we got Kanye supposed to be dropping a new record, man. Him and Jay-Z reunited, so Watch the Throne about to come back out and stuff. You got
that Donda though.
The Donda. Yeah, you know what I mean? His mom's name, man. He's doing it for his mom. I don't know, man. From all the clips I heard, I haven't heard no beats. I just heard like music, so I don't know. I mean, like I ain't heard no drums. You know, so I don't know if it's gonna be like a drumless record or something like how New York been doing for the last 10 years or what. But I am happy that they reunited or whatever, man. But
that Jay-Z verse was hot though.
That's Jay. He's the greatest of all time. That's Jay, man. So I mean, like at the end of the day, that ain't nothing. But we'll have to see, man. Ye has always kind of disappointed me ever since like really Graduation. Because everybody says A Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. That record was too hyped to me. It was not that great to me. Right. But it's because it was too. He's really good at taking the new stuff and mixing it in. I never really felt like he just stuck with his own thing. I feel like, like even 808s and Heartbreaks, he just pretty much took T-Pain's whole style and shitted on him while doing it. You know what I'm saying? I had he had a whole this record on him in the studio with him, but I'm like, nigga, your whole style is taken from this cat. Like, you ain't even think about no auto-tune until T-Pain did it. But T-Pain can actually sing. You know what I mean? So it was like he did that. I care for that record. Then he did what was it? Yeezus, I think after that. And that was like, Arca. If y'all don't read the credits, Arca's a great producer out of I think the UK. So it's like, he just I haven't seen him even the Laws of Pablo or whatever or whatever it was. That the hardest song on there was what's his name? The Future wannabe nigga Designers. You know what I mean? So it's like, I like that Wolf, but he hasn't released a record that's Kanye to me. It's always been someone else's shit or sound and him just kind of like rolling with it. So I respect him, at the end of the day. I love him as a producer. But I feel like, at the end of the day, when you are a producer, you got to have your own sound. You know what I'm saying? And if you're really much just riding the waves to stay relevant, even though that's good business, I'm not really enthused. What you think?
I think that once you get to a certain point, like in your career, you start, removing yourself from the world. And so then you're not having all these different experiences that you once had when you were broke. And so then what do you really have to put into your music other than the perception of what you think people want to hear? I think when you telling that, combining, mental health issues and then possibly going through a divorce, but maybe not going through a divorce, we really don't know. I think that there's a lot that kind of goes into it. And I think that at some point, he set out to do what he's going to do. He said he wanted to be a billionaire and he accomplished that.
Absolutely.
But now he's a billionaire with not a lot of resources. He's burned a lot of bridges because there's all these different emotions that he hasn't dealt with in his personal life.
Funny enough, man, he may have burned bridges on the black side, but I think like he's gained powerful white guy bridges, you know what I'm saying? Because, he basically said, like, I'm pretty much about my money. Still Republican, still was running Republican when he did president. So I think the power that he actually needs, he still has. But I'm looking on Twitter, and shout out to everybody that follows me from Twitter as well. I'm looking on Twitter and how they're like, hey, I ain't forget about the red hats. I think Questlove put, how many red hats did you give this record? I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I mean, at the end of the day, like I think Kanye's gonna be fine. I mean, he's smart. Like I said, this land is for sale, and he bought a whole bunch of stuff in Wyoming, and I give him that, man. Like he said, I'm not cool with the hip hop. It's all about just the foreigns and all that, and just not really understanding how to invest your money. You know what I mean? I may buy a pair of shoes here and there, man, but I'd rather buy the stock of Adidas or Nike real quick. You know what I mean? That's gonna make me more money for me and my kids later on. But I understand his mindset. I feel like sometimes though his delivery isn't really good. Mastermind, what you think, bro?
I mean, I don't like anybody that follows the coattails and shuck and jive. All that shit.
Shucking and jiving?
You know, like you said though, I do understand that some people, they want to get to that bag so fast they'll do anything, and that's the
Word.
the world we live in. But at
Word.
the same time, you're gonna catch a cold shoulder from me. So, I don't know how you want to play it.
Yeah, bro. I mean, at the end of the day, man, teach his own. You know what I mean? I don't ever, I can't. How you feel your pockets is how you feel your pockets. I mean, not rock with you, but at the end of the day, man, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like you said, my man, you got a real family. You know how it is. Like you constantly working for your family. Like if you all right. So let's put it out there. If you knew, because all right, let me bring it back first. All right. So there's a documentary about the Black Godfather on Netflix and music. You seen that joint? All right. So the guy, I forgot his name. Yeah, so Clarence Avant, real dope dude. He had that little concert he made during the civil rights or whatever. And they had your boy Sammy Davis Jr., who was Republican. So I'm like, he popular with the whites as well, married a white woman, just like Kanye. So funny enough, this is kind of parallel. And Sammy was like, when he came out, he was like, you can disagree with me on my politics, but you can't take away that I'm black.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then he's saying, I gotta be me. And shut it down, you know what I mean? And it was like, that's real, at the end of the day, it's like, look, man, we don't gotta, I may have different politics than you, of course, I got more money than you, so I'm gonna vote this way from my family, but at the end of the day, I've always been a person that's about the greater good, you know what I'm saying? But I'm in the 100,000ers, but I'm not in the millionaire zone, so I don't know, once you gotta worry about the taxes of the millionaire and all that, maybe I will be Republican. However, I'm Republican in theory because I understand that people gotta bring themselves up, but at the same time, I always vote Democrat because allegedly, the platform that they say they're gonna be helping us or whatever, but that doesn't really ever happen. So,
but I think we all just kind of like delve into it from what kind of like our parents show us or like
absolutely
people that are familiar. Like
absolutely,
I never really knew the difference between the Republican and the Democrat. All I know is that my mom was gonna like shame me if I didn't vote Democrat.
Okay, so I had an old cat that told me that. He was like, yeah, my grandmom always told me to vote Democrat because if I don't, then they're gonna take our welfare away. And to him, he was like, well, yo, why are we on welfare? Why aren't you out working and doing this and that? So that made him always kind of pull himself up by his bootstraps or whatever and vote Republican. And so, it's I don't know, man. Like you said, it's a generational thing. It's kind of like when I used to talk to people about, when I was 5% or whatever. You know what I mean? And I'm not associated with any religion or any group. I'm really just me, man. I am, no archangel, but like. Most people are Christians because their moms and dads raised them in the church. And they have no clue why. And then when they ask me, like, why aren't you associated with a religion? I'm like, because I don't believe in taking the slave master's religion. It just doesn't make any sense to me. You know what I'm saying? And once you go to college and you start reading history books and seeing how it was presented to us, it was like, yeah, man, like the only true, religion, true Christians that were around before we were slaves was, the Ethiopians in northern Africa, but even then that was a completely different type of way. So we can go into that another way. But anyway, let's bring back the question.
Okay, what's the question?
If you were offered, 10 million, in some way or form, like I'm going to get the sales, or I'm going to get the platform, or I'm going to get the sponsorship to be able to support a Donald Trump, or support a Candace Owens, or support someone that's really against the greater good of your people. What do you think about that? Would you do that? Knowing that your family would be good and everything like that, but you're a sellout. Like Judas and the Black Messiah and shit. The nigga killed himself after, you know what I mean? So, great movie, by the way. If y'all can see Judas and the Black Messiah, watch that shit, though.
I don't know. I think it's easy to say, oh man, no, I'm not gonna sell out, or whatever, because you're thinking about, the people. But at the same token, I also think from the other perspective of, if I get that 10 million and I get into that organization, I can understand their mindset and to really understand the mindset of the opposition or what's presented to you as the opposition, then you can make a real big difference. Right. And I think that some of the things, like it's like you going back into politics, so many people are like so against Donald Trump. But then you look at Donald Trump. Donald Trump was rich, so when he came into it, there were certain things that they couldn't pull over his head. There were certain bribes that they couldn't give him, and he did a lot for people who were lower class. He kept unemployment going for like a longer period of time than they would have. And he told people, if you're worried about keeping the lower means, then you're never going to win. Let's strive to be greater. And I think at some point we all fall victim to that. Of like, it's easier to get a food stamp card than it is to get up every day and go to work.
Yeah.
And I'm not shitting on the people that need the help, because at some point,
yeah, I mean, it's there for a reason. People need help, absolutely.
But you can't.
And let's be clear: the majority of people on welfare are not black. So let's just put that out there as well.
Statistically, they say that it's people. Who
absolutely.
Caucasians.
No, that's not. I mean, they're the majority of the people in this country, not the world, but in this country. You know what I'm saying? It's all day. But no, I feel you on that, man. I mean, you got to have some kind of ambition or whatever. But I mean, I think that kind of works itself out. We live in a free commerce country. So, if you want to go out there and get it, you have the right to do so. You will do so. People that don't want to do it, they'll be the slave class. I mean, slavery has not ended. The new slavery is minimum wage, which is changing, by the way. I mean, I was in Dallas. Started talking about Dallas people and shit, man. Out tuning, seeing all the cats, man, and Bobby Sessions and them. But I went into a taco spot, and they were like, "Yeah, man, we're hiring $14 to $18 an hour." And I'm like, "Okay." That's pretty dope, you work out the work. You know what I mean?
Now.
But just think about that for a second, because like Kevin Samuels would say, shout out Kevin Samuels. He would say, the average black man in America makes $40,000 a year, or $42,000, which is like $20.20 an hour. Mm-hmm. All right, if you can work at a taco spot and make $18 an hour, and not deal with the corporate BS and be able to, finagle your schedule so you can work on your other business or whatever, that's not that bad compared to how it used to be, where you working at the taco spot for $6 an hour. $7 an hour or whatever. So the pandemic and the working class that are rising up saying, no, we're not gonna keep making your billions of dollars when y'all can pay us more. Definitely made some changes, which is good. I'm glad that people stood up for themselves and their rights and want more. Because I mean that goes hand in hand. You might not have the ability to start your own business or whatever, because that's just not you. However, you're a worker. You still deserve to be paid, for your time. And I think what was the Chick-fil-A, but I think it was an Arby's or something a couple months ago that was like, the boys just quit. And it was a Burger King. The Burger King that was like last week, right?
Yeah, they put on the sign, we all quit.
Yeah, they tried to hit the manager up and say, oh, y'all gotta take that down. Like, nah, we quit though. Like, we quit. So I'm not taking that down. But I mean, at the end of the day, it makes sense. I mean, these companies know how much they make per day, and it's all margins. They want to make extra profit. And it's funny enough. You go deeper than that for anybody that doesn't know about how corporations and franchises work. Burger King and McDonald's are good. The franchise is owned by me. Like, I own a franchise. If I own the franchise, I'm the one that's got to deal with that worker shit. And if I can't get y'all back to work, get it going, I'm the one that loses money. Me, the entrepreneur, pull myself up out of bootstraps, cat. You know what I mean? Not McDonald's. Because McDonald's, if you ever seen, was it the founder? Good movie, watch it with Michael Keaton. McDonald's understood the realty of it. They buy the land. And they're like, we own the land that you own your little franchise on, but as soon as you can't pay us our dues and you're not doing things by the right way, we just evict you from the land and can find somebody else to come in and do whatever. So even still, sadly, I'm glad those workers did what they had to do. I think you need to take a stand for what you believe in. At the same time, though, you're not screwing over Burger King, you're screwing over that franchisee, who could had 10 of them. So, maybe they're not hurting that much, but it's just something that you got to think about. Like, if you don't understand business, someone's always hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, with us, doing our thing or whatever, trying to provide services for people or whatever, and they want to try to say this or that. They didn't do, oh, hey, man, if your music wasn't that good, people aren't going to listen to it. We cannot guarantee streams. Yeah. Right, we can't guarantee streams if we're helping you with your promotion or whatever, man. Your music's got to be good enough for that. Like, you also got to understand your niche. Everybody ain't going to be the Baby and Meg. Meg, had a demographic that made sense. Houston has more strip clubs per capita than any other city in America. And a lot of people don't understand, like, you can't drive more than 10 miles minimum before a pandemic and not run into a strip club in Houston. So
it's like liquor stores in California.
Yeah, so making stripper rap would made sense. And not saying that all her stripper rap, but she was, first time we seen Meg was in the strip clubs performing, which was beautiful. The beautiful white Meg did her hustle. So like, she understood her niche. So she understood how to get her thing out there. You're gonna have to do the same as an artist. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to figure out what makes the best for you. And if you don't understand that, hire a manager or a PR person, or someone, or a brand scout that's going to be able to help you with that. You, as being a media platform, radio and all that, you know what I'm saying? What do you think about that?
Well, when we bring artists on board and we talk with artists, it's more about not just marketing them, but figuring out collectively how we're going to create a culture for their brand to help build an audience on radio, social media, and television. And I think that a lot of artists, they don't think about their music or their career as a brand, and that's where you kind of fall short, because it's like you set the expectation of the yes man's, like, man, my stream should be this, or I should be do this, and it sucks to say, but as people of color, we're always looking for the discount or looking for the quickest way to be able to get that instant gratification. And PR and marketing doesn't work that way. Exactly. You have to test and measure. You have to figure out what your numbers are, what your cost to acquire, a new listener is, and all of those different mechanisms. And if you're not mentally capable or astute to sit down and really draw in all of that information, then where's your career really going to grow? Behind every big brand, there's somebody telling them each an exact move to make. They're telling them, here, you need to be up at 7 o'clock. We need to be on set at 8 o'clock. And that's why you find, people just taking these big, long, elaborate vacations on social media, because when you get to a stressful stuff like that, it's still systematics that make it work. Snoop Dogg is rich, Jay-Z is rich, but they have a schedule, they have a platform, they have deadlines, they have all these different things that they have to meet for other people and to make their brand ultimately work. And you can't have it all. You can't be yourself and be a brand. At some point, you have to find that balance of what feeds into the expectation of what people set for you.
Word. No doubt. So let's segue into then, so we talk about promotion and brands and all that. So I know we're partnered on the promotion with the streaming services and all that kind of stuff or whatever, helping people with Spotify, Apple, and Tidal. Tidal pays most per stream, by the way. You should always try to focus on Tidal. It's a harder thing because they have less subscribers comparatively to a Spotify and the Apple, because Spotify is free. I mean, you have a lot of people that use Spotify for free and just will listen to the ads and listen to it like Pandora or whatever as well. So, the Apple, same way Apple's paid for, so it's very rare that you're going to be able to get a lot of numbers up promo-wise for Apple, because you got to at least be able to have people that have paid accounts. They even have playlists that are going on there or whatever. So, talk about that. So, Carrick was able to do all that, put you on with all those different playlists and all that stuff with those streaming services. But at the end of the day, watch out, man. I know you cats, and I know I've been there. And I'm going to tell you like this. I've done it for you because I can afford to. So I can let you know a lot of these cats is trash. They're lying to you. You know what I mean? They're coming in your DM, or they're putting, even just if they put the little ads, no, bro. Like, at the end of the day, what they're doing is paying for streams. And they're saying, oh, yeah, we can get you 100,000 streams for this. If they promising you that, there's no way you can do that. I mean, we can't guarantee that someone's going to listen to your record and like it. On a playlist it goes through, man. If they don't like the first 10, 15, you know how it is, man. You just drive around listening. You don't like the first 10, 15, something, what is this? I'm skipping it. And the thing is that you got to look at registry. So a Spotify listen is like 60 seconds. It really is 45 seconds or more, but they pay you in different ways. A 45-second listen is like smaller than the 60-second listen and the 90-second listen and the full listen with the ad behind it. So you got to understand, like, you'll get paid a lot more if people like your music and actually listen to the song and listen to the ad behind it, comparatively to someone just listening to it for 45 seconds. And so you got these fake cats out there that'll sell you 100,000 streams or whatever, and they'll get a bot or whatever, or their little playlist box to listen to your shit for 100,000 times at 45 seconds, and you will get paid off that if it looks legit. However, I'm telling you, I've gotten something taken off because I used this cat and didn't know. But then when I started digging in, I'm like, oh, okay, that's what it was. This cat ain't getting 100,000 streams, and he had 20 people listen to my record. How are 20 people gonna listen to my record 100,000 times? Come on, man. You know what I mean? And so Spotify looked into that. They were like, yeah, man, I let them know what sort of everything that I did. So they didn't, beat me up for it, but they didn't pay me for it either. So I lost that dough, but I didn't. Like I told you on the last episode, PayPal, right? So I got my money back, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's like, you got to look at these. If they're guaranteeing you streams, it's a no. You know what I'm saying? If they're guaranteeing you anything, like, all they can do is say, look, I'm going to put you on these kind of joints that have this many listeners, and hopefully your stuff gets up. Because even if they have 50,000 listeners, it does not mean those 50,000 people are going to listen to your song. And if they do, then that's all body. You know what I mean? There's no way. Because I listen to Tidal when I'm driving or whatever, and when something comes on that I don't care, I skip that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So like, you're telling me that everybody's no, man. Like, so you gotta be wary of that, man. Talk to real people. You know what I mean? If it's all Cash App, if it's all, Gmail, come on, man. You should have an email that's actually from a business. Like, mine's is Noah at BandofthehawkTV.com. You know what I'm saying? My man's got his KRXM one. He does some stuff through Gmail as well because at the end of the day, a lot of people just...
Gmail's easier, but I do have the
it's
info
Google Drive.
KRXM.
It's Google Drive. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's a lot easier to do it because you're able to attach big files on Google Drive. Like I have my Noah HDS to Gmail. I get it, but...
You should have that business email when you
should have a business, right? You should have a business. You should have a website even that can look at stuff. You know what I mean? And a better, look at the Trustpilot on a lot of people too if they have any reviews and stuff like that. Man, at the end of the day, a lot of these cats, man, are just setting up fake shit and then just collecting your dough. And then once your shit gets pulled off and then they give you a strike and you come back looking for your money, they're like, oh no, man, whatever. They block you and they move on to the next cat. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's a lot easier to do that than actually provide real promotion. Because all you care about is your numbers. You're not looking at how many listeners. Like now, when I look at my shit, I got like 35,000 listeners on, monthly listeners on Spotify. You know what I mean? I'm probably getting, maybe 500,000 streams a month or whatever. You know what I'm saying, or whatnot. It makes way more sense when you look at those numbers compared to looking at, I got 2,000 monthly listeners and I got 500,000 streams. How does that make any sense? You're telling me that 2,000 people listen to your shit 200,000 times? There's no way they could even do that in a month. And they just literally sit in there, not even every day they listen to it back to back, the whole song. There's no way they can even do that, man. It's fake, man. What you think about that?
Well, I think it's bigger than that. I think that you, as artists, you got to stop being lazy. So you get somebody that's a playlist accelerator and they're putting your music on different playlists. That's one aspect of it. That's one trade line. But you still have to create different mediums to draw in an audience. So you need to utilize your Instagram. If you're tweeting, you need to get on Twitter. And then you also need to get out into the real world so that it all makes sense. People want to follow and listen to the next big thriving thing. So you can't just put all your eggs in one basket and expect this playlist to help you excel in your career. You still got to get out and talk to people. Yeah. You still got to get out and create original content that people want to take to, which makes them going to say, hey, I like that little 30-second thing. Let me go to Spotify and check out and see more about them. For me, I know that I have the difficulty, creating original content with just me. So I do different things like switch it up. I do TikToks with my kids. I've created all these different shows on KRXM Radio, which allow me to demonstrate the different parts of my personality. So you get, the weed smoker, you get the crazy person, you get the sophisticated person, the educated person. But there are all these different things that personalities that you have inside of you that want to draw people in. So then when I say I do music, maybe they don't want to listen to my song right away, but they come on as a guest on my show, or they've seen me interview somebody else and ask these different questions because it shows my versatility. And I think that that's what music used to be. We saw all this different versatility, and without social media, we actually had to do the manpower, knock down doors, get up and do performances, and most of these artists are lazy. You say, come on, let's do this. They're like, oh man, really? Right now, give me a few minutes. My teeth ain't brushed, my hair ain't combed or whatever. But if you really want this shit, you got to get out. Like, it don't matter what it is. You got to be ready, like Johnny, on the fucking spot,
brother, all day. Yo, DJ, what you be doing with your content, man? I mean, he got like 5 different Instagram pages, man. He's an artist, a DJ. He a big brother, a babysitter.
Yeah, all that, man. I kind of do what he does. I like the ability to show different facets of myself. Not only am I a DJ, not only am I an artist, but I'm an uncle, I'm a big brother, I'm a regular black man, I'm an activist, so
that's right.
I want the correct type of crowd following me. I don't want people to be confused and think, oh, he got tattoos, he must be pow, pow, bang, bang.
You and your sister involved in the Black Lives Matter for Houston.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, exactly, man. That's one of the reasons why I really cut
ground, so.
Absolutely on the ground, yeah. Feet on the ground, 10 toes down.
Yeah. And I want people to know that, so when they see me, they don't think this is all, a facade. Like, nah, I've been here.
Yeah, word.
Yeah,
Yeah, you got some of your art over here and shit too, man.
Brother, we gotta add a little feng shui to this motherfucker. So brought a little something out. If y'all want to see some more, come on down to Caffeine Coffee. We got art all across there. Megan the artist got art over there.
You had the shoe joint. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later tonight. When you get up there, I want to see that joint. We'll go live with you, man. The shoe joint where you painting. You painting shoes?
Oh yeah.
You said you painting pictures of shoes, or you painting shoes?
Yeah, we do stencils of shoes. So I did the Answers by Reebok. I did.
Okay. Allen Iverson joints. Okay. Jordan Dunks. Okay.
Number 11s.
Oh, you do 11s too? Okay.
Not the fives. Not the fives.
It was all about the fives. And see, I knew that was
the fives, man. 11s, 1s.
Yeah.
3s, even 3s and 4s, man. But nah,
I think the next one I'm gonna go into some Gary Paytons. I'm gonna get some crazy 8s. I'm gonna go.
You painted the shoes I wore on the last show on episode 2, the new Fila joints, right? Yeah, man. I gotta get some more joints from you, man. I think you still got a pair of shoes for me to paint, huh?
I got 2 Air Force One joints.
Okay, yeah, no doubt, man. But yeah, man, I mean, at the end of the day, man, like I said, get your content up. Make sure that if y'all need help with that, reach out to everybody. You know what I'm saying? We help with videos as well. The Band of the Hawk does everything you see on our Instagram and on everything is done by us. You know what I mean? So the videos, the artwork, the merchandise, all that. You know what I'm saying? Another joint. You know what I mean? I try to, I don't really like to buy too many other people's stuff unless it's just, it's just really that fly like that. You know what I mean? But get your shit up, man. As an artist, be an artist and create. You know what I mean? And if you're not an artist, I get it, man. Just put your drug money behind it, and it'll come sooner or later, because that shit works. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I mean? Clearly, you know what I mean. We look around, you look at the atmosphere of what's going on in the industry right now. It is what it is, man. So
and find some mentors. Find some people that you can't be at the top of the food chain in your circle.
Word.
Like, you gotta get yourself into position to where, like, you have to humble yourself and get into other people's circles that ordinarily probably wouldn't accept you. And when you get into their circles, then you're always learning. Stop trying to emulate what you see other people do because they are successful, but learn why they're doing what they're doing, and then figure out how to make that your own. Because you can't walk into any door and be confident doing something that you ain't never had no experience doing, or doing something that you don't believe in. And so when you see this show, the Spitboxx, like, he doesn't get enough credit for it. He put this whole thing together. I'm just a vessel. He invited me and he said, hey, do you want to co-host it? But from the lighting in the studio to the editing, to knowing all the different steps of the audience that you want to have, so that when you present something to somebody, they can take you seriously. A lot of times we as artists, we present something to somebody and then we want them to do all the work while we sit on our ass and try to look good.
Try to collect all the checks too.
Yeah.
You wonder why these cats ain't really that rich and everybody behind the scenes is making all this dope. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't nobody gonna carry you on their back.
Nah.
Ain't nobody on why you look good. So you really have to lay everything out. And there's no school for success, but it's hustle. It's your hustle and it's your intuitiveness to be able to see when your metrics ain't going right, which are your numbers. For those of like what are metrics, to be able to say, okay, I need to adjust this. And sometimes you might not like what you're doing, but other people may love it. And so you got to figure out how to reel in and find that balance to where you can still somewhat like it, but even when you're building a business, it's still a job.
I mean, you got a good point there, though, man. Like you said, I forgot who said it. I think it was on Twitter or something, man. But you got to go where the love is. You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be a lot of cats that are just, I say it all the time on my Instagram, and I'll say it right now to you motherfuckers. Stop fucking following me, man. Like, for real. Like, I got like 18,000 followers, like, but y'all ain't liking as much. Y'all, what I'm saying? Like, I get some views and all that all day, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, why are you following me if you ain't really rocking with me? And I'll tell you why. A lot of these cats, they lurking, you got the ghost followers as well. I get those, you know what I'm saying? But like, if I see you active on all this other shit, you know what I mean? You sucking on Kanye's dick and, and putting your little heart emojis on the baby shits and shit, but you can't even fucking like me, but you follow me. Like, why are you following me, man? You can't be me. I'm telling you right now, bro. Like, y'all can try to see everything that I'm doing. You will never be able to do it. I'll tell you why. Because you're not me. I do everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I know what I want to come across as, and I go where the love is. I know my audience likes what I'm doing. I don't care if you don't like my shit. I don't care, bro. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is always, I'll tell you every week, like, don't follow me, but you can't. You can't unfollow me. Why? Because I'm too ill. You know what I'm saying? You gotta figure out, what am I doing? How is this cat doing all this or whatever? Boom, boom, boom. How are they able to drop records every week? How are they getting all their vinyl? How are they selling their vinyl? How are they getting their merch done? How are they getting that? I'm not gonna show you all that, but I will if you ask me, because I'm a real nigga. But it's just funny to me, man. Like, all of these rival rappers, rival beat makers, y'all be following me, and it's like, unless I want to buy something from you, you just be sitting there just peeping. Like, yo, man, show love, man. Because at the end of the day, people that be showing me like Piece of Gotti Biggs and then we met through my man Ray. Like, you show love, man. We gonna build together, man. I'm all about building pyramids. It's the Band of the Hawk underground pyramid crew. I'm always trying to add people to the crew. You know what I'm saying? It's about the unit. It's never been about no Archangel. It's been about the unit. I don't even put no Archangel on half the shit that we put out because it's about Band of the Hawk. You know what I mean? And so at the end of the day, man, like y'all gotta go where the love is. You know, when you go where the love is, everything's gonna work out for you. But at the same time, man, you gotta be able to discern as a man. You know what I'm saying? And women too. You gotta be able to. My dad used to tell me you gotta be able to discern. You gotta be able to understand like how to differentiate from. Yo, this cat is just a nigga that's watching me trying to, steal my light, steal my shine. And a cat that really wants to build with you. Because that's the thing, a lot of these cats will run up on you smiling and all that, man, whatever. Talk about you looking good, this, that, and the third. But what they really saying is, hey, yo, you know what I mean? You look like somebody that can do something for me. And I speak on you and try to act like I'm cool with you, to manipulate you, to helping me. And you got to be able to discern that and be like, hey, you know what? Let me see what you going to do for me. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like, I can do for you quicker than whatever you can do for me in most cases, man. At the end of the day, man, I don't really need any help. Clearly, look at what I got going on. If you go to BandofthehawkTV or even the Bow Up, I got my own app. Go to the Bow Up app. Like, y'all not touching me in any way. There's not an independent artist out there that's rocking better than me. Except for the ones that are signed to major labels and management or whatever. I do everything myself. I'm completely fucking independent. You know what I mean? So, go where the love is, man. And be able to discern. Always remember that word, discern, man. Because if you can discern and be able to see a cat, like how they see a woman know within 5 seconds that she's gonna rock with you, you know what I mean? In the physical way, it's the same thing. You need to be able to run up on cats and be like, you know what? When they come at you, you be able to look at them up and down and hear what they're saying. Their body language. 90% of what people will tell you is through their body. You know what I'm saying? Look at how they stand and how they can't. You know what I'm saying? They can't look at you in the eye all that. Like, okay, this cat is on some fake shit. You know what I'm saying? But play them. I'm never gonna let you know what I'm thinking. I'm gonna let you, think whatever, and I'm gonna let you fall on your face, G. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's funny to me. I like to see who think they can really play me and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that they're gonna rock with the God like that. It ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? You've been through that a few times too, I remember, right?
Yeah, I don't fuck with nobody. It just is what it is. I don't fuck. You gotta show me that you really want it for yourself. Not for me, not for anything, but for yourself. Once you show me that you want it for yourself, and I see that you got a system in place, then maybe we can work together. And I have to be like that because I've learned that when you turn around and you start messing with all these different people, you take on their energy. And you start thinking and you start moving like them, and that don't necessarily go right in your house for yourself, and then that's also the example that you take on and you set for your kids. And anybody that knows me that I love like the shit out of my kids, and it's like I'm gonna set the right examples for them. And I can hustle by myself, but at the same token, when you're building a team, it's all about the mindset and the sacrifices that you're willing to make. And that shows me in the steps that you take with how you build your brand, how you represent yourself, and just where it ultimately is that you want to go. If you ain't got no elevator pitch, then I don't know what it is that you're doing. If you ain't got no resources of people that you work with and references, then I don't really know what you're doing. And the most important thing, if you only focusing on the money, we're never going to get there, because you got to have your big-term goals and your short-term goals, and we got to also have an operational plan of how we're going to have small victories. And if you're not able to work towards the bigger goal, which is why me and this guy work together so well, which is everybody being able to be a part of the community and get that support, you're always going to cancel yourself out. And that's just how I feel. And the people that I really am close with and I talk to, like, it's either we're all in or we're not. I don't know how to do the
it's hard to be the halfway shit, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of,
It just takes too much toll on you.
Well, man, it's more of just like, I don't want to know what ifs, man. I'd rather, go all in. I mean, shout out to Kevin Simmons again. Like, I'd rather fail, man. Like, I'd rather fail, but never have to look back and be like, well, what if I did this? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going all in. That way I can never be like, hey, man, I didn't do everything I could do. You know what I'm saying? And you can't come in and be like, well, man, if you just did this. Like, nah, I did that. I did all that, bro. It's in the book. Scroll on my shit, bro. It's in the book, my nigga. Like, so what you do, though? You know what I'm saying? The world watching, man. Everything's on fucking display right now, man. Like, you can't really, funny enough, that's why niggas is getting caught up with they wives and side chicks and all that kind of shit, man. Everything's in the book, my nigga. Everybody be, you know what I'm saying? You can't do shit. You know what I mean? You trying to go to your side chick's house. There's cameras all over the place. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Husband already caught up. You know what I'm saying?
Can't get caught up if you do right.
Bruh, you know what I'm saying?
You get right. You get more out of a woman when you do right by her than you do when you try to be with this person and that person and that person.
That's anything
You
in
know,
life.
anything in life.
If
You
you
gotta
have
do right.
loyalty and dedication towards something, the fruits of that will be plentiful, you know. But if you were sowing and putting distrust and lies and whatever, man, this is one guy from SPC on a song. He says, Humpty Dumpty sat his ass up on the wall and fell down and cracked his shell because he didn't know which side he wanted to be on. Get your ass off the wall. Pick a side.
Pick a side. Don't straddle the fence.
Don't
straddle the fence.
Yeah.
Exactly. You
You're
gotta
gonna
pick
be
a
a real
side.
one and stay on this side with some sort of righteousness. Or you're gonna be a phony nigga.
Yeah, that was that's my favorite line off that the O.J. Simpson joint, man. That they did on when that boy Johnny Cochran was like, man, choose a side, bro. Like either you black or you working for the fucking government because they ain't fucking with us. Like so choose a fucking side, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'll tell anybody that choose a side. And what you want to be on. You can be on the fake shit, and you can be very profitable on the fake shit. I am not mad at anybody how you get your money. That's just not what I'm choosing to do, man. You know what I'm saying?
Because
It's
you
one
got
of
to
my
be
favorite
accountable
songs
for
for
that
me
shit.
too, man.
You got to be accountable for it. At some point, that scamming shit gonna catch up to you.
Yeah.
And most of and some of these people, you know, it ain't no such thing as a friendly bullet. Like, oh, you're with your kids right now. I'm not finna pop you. You know, like some people you fucked them over, and it is what it is. You know, it's take flight on sight. You know, and that's just life. And so you put out in the world what you want back, but you can't expect that because you're putting out good, everybody's going to give you good back. But you just still keep going because at some point, the universe, God, your faith, whatever it is that you believe in out there, the universe will take care of you. But you can't do anything without the work. And you can't do anything without the plan. The plan is the most important part. It's the most important part.
Yo, man, we already ended our IGTV live, so hopefully y'all cut up on that or whatever. But at the end of the day, man, we wanted to go on some more things that happened. Is like, see your boy, it's all women and cheating and shit. The boy Michael Blackson finally, right?
He proposed.
Yeah, man.
He
He
proposed.
proposed to this girl on the Breakfast Club live and shit, bro.
He said, he was tired of it and he wanted to bring God, into their relationship and
So no more knots, no more big booties bouncing everywhere.
But it was crazy how he said it, I think when you get to that certain point though and you find a woman that accepts that from you, how do you just cut it all off?
Hey man, Killer Mike and Big Boy are two of the ones that I say I respect the most because they've been in relationships for a long time.
Yeah.
And they stay in strip clubs. But they have this connection with their wives where they don't, I don't think I've ever seen, them out and doing wild shit with women and their wives wasn't somewhere in the background or something. Like I've seen Killer Mike wife travel with him everywhere he goes. So, but he be in the strip club. So
and they brothers though, man.
Yeah.
At the same time. So man, I think in Atlanta is a different culture. You know what I mean?
Strip club is that's the culture.
Absolutely. There's that, but it's also the with it being so less men, a lot of the women are already used to sharing their men. You know what I mean? If you look at every celebrity, how high value men, any high value men from Atlanta has that option because they're gonna exercise their option. So the women aren't dumb. You know what I mean? A Tiny and T.I., Killer Mike and his wife, a big boy, they're not dumb. I'm not about to throw this nigga away knowing that he's gonna be the best I'm gonna get just because he wants to have a little trim on the side here and there. Like he's coming home to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We live in a beautiful house, got a family doing our thing. Like a lot of them have already accepted that because that was the culture out there. And I know a lot of women are watching this like, oh, he's full of shit. Like nigga, I went to Atlanta 20 years ago. I'm not even talking about last year. 20 years ago, in the airport, on the way from the airport, in the mall, in the drive-thru, holler at girls. Keep, hey, what's going on? What's going on? I'm like, yo, what's up? No. I had to ask my homeboy, like, what's up with this, man? Oh, girls keep running up on him some shit. But he's like, yo, man, y'all niggas ain't gay. And I was like, what you mean by that? He's like, man, a lot of the guys here are gay. So like, if they think you straight and shit like that, you know what I mean? And I remember going to a club and literally walking through that club. And every other woman, hey yo, I saw you get her number, but it's all good. Woo, woo, woo. I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Went to the Papados. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just try this out. And literally went to every other girl in there, let them know, hey, I'm in town, man. I'll holler at you later on, get your number, whatever. And they already seen me. They didn't care. You know what I'm saying? Because there's such a shortage of men there. You know what I'm saying? Of straight men. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with homosexuals, whatever. It's all love out here. But like, and that was 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? This is before like how women are more open to being gay with themselves as well. Like so, there's a sexual freedom there besides the the relationship freedom they got there, man. So it's just different, you know what I mean? So when you mention those guys, it's just funny, like they're all from Atlanta. It's a completely different thing, man. They know what it is, man. You know what I mean? Like, and they even have it in their little skits on the Outkast albums and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's different, man. The same thing that goes on there and in DC as well. Dallas, you know what I'm saying? Because Dallas is like the Texas Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? It ain't going on here in Houston. You know what I'm saying? There's way more dudes here than women in Houston. So the dudes here be simping. You know what I'm saying? Because they're trying to find something. You know what I mean, right? So it's just it's all about geography.
And I work in the bars, bro. You work in a bar in Texas or in Houston rather. You work in a bar, you gonna see simping every other minute.
Bro.
Hey man, who's that? Hey, send her a drink.
Yeah. And still won't go talk to her.
Yeah.
And then when she about your money only, you like, man, she a chick sack chaser. Well, that's how you presented yourself to her.
Right, say that again.
You know what I'm saying?
Because people don't understand
you
that.
presented yourself
You set the playing field for that.
You know what I'm saying? You set
So
the standard.
that's what she's attracted to.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I would see with you minding my own business. And you came there like, hey, yo, I buy drinks. Oh, okay, well, you the drink buyer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I remember I did that on accident because I was, I'm raised by two. I'm a gentleman. You know what I'm saying? But I was in D&B one time. I think you were there. I don't remember if you remember. Tell me if you remember this. So before the first time you weren't there, but the second time, the first time, this chick was there with her like two friends, pretty proper light skin and shit. I'm like, all right, let me holler this chick. Bought them 3 drinks. It's happy hour. It cost me like $10.
Yeah.
Buy 3 drinks or whatever. D&B and shit. They busted some shout out. And so like whatever. Tried to talk to her later on, try to take her out or whatever, but she kept on some funny shit. Like, oh yeah, I'm busy with this. Okay, no doubt. It's all good. I moved on. 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, we at D&B on a Sunday. I'm on the side. It's me, Rashid's behind the bar. So it's me, you, Kool-Aid, King. And you remember, everybody kept because there was a row of women that kept looking at me. They were staring at me. And everybody kept coming up to me like, hey, yo, man, did you see all these girls with that shit? I'm like, don't look at them. I said, don't look at them and just look straight, man. Don't pay attention to them. And nobody understood why. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, dog. So I went over there and told them about themselves. They're like, yo, man, I know y'all like trying to peek me out because I know that I bought you 2 drinks when I bought her a drink last time I seen y'all. Yeah. But yo, that ain't the case. Like if your girl had been a little smarter with the playing and acting like she was not trying to high side or some shit like that, I probably would buy y'all drinks. It's happy hour. It cost me $20, no big deal. But at the end of the day. But every dude that walks, hey man, them girls, I'm like, nigga, please. You know what I'm saying? That's the last time it ever happened to me. So I'm like, nah, I already know. Like, y'all, you know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all be on some stupid shit. But once again, like we said, I presented myself to them that way. And that's the thing. Like I said, Chauffeur's dead. Like Dave Chappelle said, y'all killed it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? This is what I was raised to do. I got the dough. Ain't no big deal, man. Hey, buy y'all a drink and talk to y'all real quick. It ain't because I'm trying to buy your love. At the end of the day, y'all, I would want a bad bitch that sees me trying to buy me a drink. Yeah. Buy me a steak, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. You know what I mean? But then it's, you ain't even do me right. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even treat me like, you know what I'm saying, like I was even worth what I know I was worth. And then y'all trying to, you know what I'm saying, like it was a whole row, like 8 of them.
Probably $5 between all 8 of them.
Bruh, they was sitting there thirsty in the bitch. Thirsty in the bitch. You know what I'm saying? Just watching, just looking at me. Every nigga that rolled up, I'm like, man, nigga, all these girls, I'm like, nigga, stop. And the only why I did it was because Rashid was like, dude, man, they keep bothering me. Please look at these women. I'm like, all right, man. Finally looked at them like, hey, what up? You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. Went back to talking about my boys and shit, you know what I'm saying? But that shit right there felt so good, so I was like, you know what? I realized, like, at the end of the day, man, you weren't even worth the first drinks I bought y'all, even though, like, it's only $10, you know what I mean? But still, y'all weren't even worth that. That's why y'all this way. That's why all y'all without a man right now. And I don't know, that was like maybe 10, 15 years ago, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But still, you know what I mean? Felt
still
good.
Relevant, though.
Still relevant, you know what I mean? So, at the end of the day, you are what you present, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I probably should have talked to them first and seen if they were even worth talking to. But, at the same time, the representatives be out, you know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is, man. Anything else you want to talk about shit, bro?
I think our light is blinking.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that means.
Me neither. You know what I'm saying? So I think that the camera's trying to tell us that we got either a few minutes left or your mom's. So at the end of the day, man, we're gonna be out Spitboxx episode 3. No Archangel, Band of a Hawk, Underground Pyramid Crew. My man Jeffrey Bond, Carrickson Radio,
Mastermind.
In the house. Where they can hit you at again? CarricksonRadio.com.
Man, follow us at Carrickson Radio on Instagram. Follow me at Senior5150 and plug in if you want to help. Build some culture for your brand. www.krxnradio.com.
All day. Bandofthehawk.com for me, and at Band of the Hawk on all social media. And get the Bow Up app on Android and iOS all day. DJ,
yo,
where you at?
DJ Mastermind, IG, Facebook. All you gotta do is look up Darren J, the artist, or DJ Mastermind 360. You're gonna find me right there.
No doubt. All right, man. Peace and blessings to y'all. We'll see y'all next week, man.
Yeah.
Peace.